Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on this show, and I'm here to talk about the Detroit Lions beating the Baltimore Ravens 38-30 reaction on Monday Night Football. This is actually, we all know this is going to be a fun game, man, with two really damn good offenses. Detroit, still the same offense. No coordinators, no problem. That's why I wasn't ready to say after week one when they played the Packers where their offense looked like crap. I wasn't ready to say, oh, they're going to miss Ben Johnson or anything like that. And their offense is still the same. You know, they scored 38 points here. They ran the football all down Detroit. Kind of not really at the start, but once they got into a rhythm on that 98-yard drive that took like nearly 11 minutes, which was very, very impressive by Detroit, but by the Baltimore, just inexcusable. You get drove down the field 98 yards. You can't let that happen, man. Pinning the offense back at the 2, that's just unacceptable. You can't let that happen. But the Lions just ran all over them. Like, Jahmyr Gibbs didn't run the ball the best he's ever run it, but he still had 2 touchdowns. David Montgomery had 2. He had like a 72-yard run. When the Lions were once again backed inside their 5, they drove down the field again. So it's just, it feels like the worst field position they started with, they drove down the field. But the Lions also had a few kicks that, again, the landing zone gave Lions short yardage, which they took advantage of. They had a big 4th down, the cojones on Dane Campbell to go for it there. To go for it there. 4th and 2 and convert it. Oh my lord. That was a fantastic play call to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Caught the pass there from Jared Goff, and then David Montgomery took it in for a touchdown. I'm like, go down, but he ran in for the touchdown. He was fantastic. Sonic and Knuckles cannot be stopped tonight. David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. But you was talking about Jared Goff tonight, 20 of 28, 202 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions by Jared Goff. Thought a good managed game from Jared Goff. You know, it wasn't the best game he's ever played. It wasn't some fantastic performance, but I thought Jared Goff played a good, solid game. Didn't have to do the most flashy things, but he played a good game. There was like one bad play where I thought he could have run the football for a first down instead of throwing an incompletion. But still, not a good game, not a great game. It was a solid game. But he didn't have to do that much. It was really that damn running game. And also, Jared Goff made the huge throw though on 4th and 2 to Amon-Ra. And they also converted a lot of 3rd downs early on in this ball game. David Montgomery, 12 runs, 151 yards, 12.6 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. What a game from David Montgomery tonight. Him and Jahmyr Gibbs had 2 touchdowns each. When healthy, David Montgomery's the heart and soul of this Lions backfield, man. Why the Chicago Bears gave up on David Montgomery is still a mystery to me, man. This dude is a stud. And there's just so many questions surrounding this Ravens team. Like, Jared Goff wasn't sacked any tonight. Lamar was sacked 7 times tonight. Given he held onto the ball way too long tonight. But the offensive line was shit, but Lamar Jackson also held the ball too long. Jared Goff didn't get sacked at all. David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs also ran for a combined 218 yards on the ground, 4 touchdowns. There are just so many questions surrounding a defense, Ravens defense, that just can't find its groove. And the Ravens had no answer for David Montgomery. Just a great road win. And Derrick Henry loses a fumble in his first 3 games, which was Derrick Henry's off tonight. Well, Montgomery was on it. 12 yards a carry with 2 touchdowns and broke 2 huge runs in this ball game. Jahmyr Gibbs, 22 runs, 67 yards, 3.0 carry, 2 touchdowns. Kind of had a slow start, but then he got going. He also had 5 catches, 32 yards. They just had no answer, man, to stop these two once they got rolling. No answer. 263 total yards between Sonic and Knuckles. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 7 catches, 77 yards, and a touchdown. And he had that huge 4th and 2 catch there with about a minute and like 40 seconds, about a minute and like 50 seconds left. It was just unreal play, man. And he had that, they had that pitch play. Goff handed it off to Amon-Ra St. Brown. He pitched it out to Jahmyr Gibbs. That's a Ben Johnson type play right there. Detroit set up that 4th down, though, so well. They had Amon-Ra go in that same motion and block 3 times in a row. Then on 4th down, he goes in the same motion and fakes a block and leaks out. Like, and also that throw from Jared Goff was great. So, yeah, what a play there. Jamison Williams, 2 catches, 43 yards. I believe he had all 43 yards on the first. He had 2 catches for 43 yards on the first drive, and he never got another reception again. And hell, he was even blocking 25 yards down the field for David Montgomery. They don't really throw him the ball a lot. Laporta, 4 catches, 33 yards for Sam Laporta. He's good, but he doesn't nearly get enough looks as well. But he's an underrated blocker. Montgomery, 1 catch, 13 yards, and Raymond, 1 catch for 4 yards. But that damn defense, dude, oh my lord. They were eating tonight. Jack Campbell had a sack. Barnes had a sack. Mr. Barney Muhammad had 2.5 sacks. Al-Quadin Muhammad, 2.5. Hutchinson had a sack. He had a forced fumble and a sack. Half a sack from Anzalone. 1 sack from Nowaski. And Jake Bates, 1 for 2 on field goals. Almost made a 67-yarder in the half. He had 38 points for the Ravens. They improved to 2-1. Or, excuse me, the Lions, they improved to 2-1. The Ravens dropped to 1-2. Lamar, 21-27, 288. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. One of those come in garbage time there at the end. 7 runs, 35 yards. But not a great game from Lamar Jackson. I know the stat sheet will look good, but it's, out of the 4 games so far this season, this is probably his worst one. Yeah, he had 3 touchdowns, but I just feel like he held on to the ball too long tonight. Like, the offensive line, like I said, wasn't good. But I feel like he just held on the ball too long. But some quarterbacks hold the ball too long. That's not just on Lamar Jackson. Some quarterbacks hold on to the ball too long. But I thought he played. It was a okay game. Like, not great, but he was okay. Derrick Henry, 12 runs, 50 yards, and a touchdown. He really didn't do much in this game. He had that untimely fumble and a massive spot. 2 big fumbles, man, in the 4th quarter in these games, man. 3 fumbles in 3 games. On 43 offensive touches, 3 fumbles. In 2023-24, 3 fumbles on 694 touches. So, yeah, man. And they really didn't run the ball much with them. Because they just didn't pass a lot. But to be fair, in the second quarter, they were hardly on the field. Because the Lions took them like 11 minutes. Lamar Jackson also got sacked 7 times. Henry fumbles. Ravens still scored 30. The defense has to do better. You give up 38 points. The Ravens offense didn't play at their A game tonight, but the defense has to be better. They just give up too many big plays. Mark Andrews, 6 catches, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns from Mark Andrews. They finally got Mark Andrews involved in this ball game. Bateman, 5 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown. Hill, 3 catches, 45 yards. Had that big one there at the end. Taz Walker, 1 catch, 34 yards. Kohler, 2 catches, 22 yards. Zay Flower, 2 catches, 13 yards. Didn't see much of Zay Flowers tonight. But there wasn't much Zay Flower. DeAndre Hopkins, 1 catch, 13 yards. Henry, 1 catch, 7 yards. Like I said, the defense just wasn't good at all, man. Didn't get a single sack on Jared Goff tonight. Just pathetic effort by that Ravens defense. They dropped to 1-2. The Lions, they had 7 in the first quarter, 7 in the second quarter, 7 in the third quarter, and had 17 there in the fourth quarter for a total of 38 points. The Ravens had 7 in the first quarter, 7 in the second quarter, 7 in the third quarter, 9 in the fourth quarter. Team stats, yeah, just great defensive performance. I mean, I know they give up 30, but I thought it was a pretty good defensive performance by the Lions, getting 7 sacks. And also converted a bunch of key third and fourth downs, including that fourth down that got a touchdown. The fourth down on 4th and 2 by Amon-Ra. Great set there by Detroit. But 426 total yards. They ran for 224 yards tonight, 6 yards per play, 202 passing. They were 7 for 14 on third down, 3 for 3 on fourth down. They go for it a lot on fourth downs. 66 total plays, no sacks allowed, 3 punts. They had 8 penalties, no fumbles, no interceptions, 33 minutes of time of possession. Ravens had 318 total yards. They were under 300, I believe, until that last drive where the Lions really just stopped trying. 233 passing, only 85 rushing yards, 5.9 yards play, 21 first down, 6 for 11 on third down, 0 for 1 on fourth down, 54 total plays, 7 sacks allowed, 3 punts, 3 penalties. They had 1 fumble they lost, which was a huge one by Derrick Henry. No interceptions, 26 minutes of time of possession. Yeah, great Monday Night Football game here, man. Between two good teams. I still believe the Ravens are a good team. But that defense, they got to figure it out, though. I mean, they haven't looked good 2 out of the first 3 games. They've allowed, what, 41 points, 38 points. And the only game out of the 3 where they've looked good against the Browns, where they allowed, what, only like 14 points. But they've played 2 pretty good offenses, and they haven't slowed any of them down. So, you've got a lot of work to do. They just got to also get a better pass rush. But also give Kelvin Shepard, the defensive coordinator for the Lions, a bow. Take a bow, sir. 7 sacks by his defense tonight. And that's why I was saying after week 1, I'm not going to say, oh, they're going to miss their coordinators yet. Because it was only week 1 and the Packers' defense turns out to be pretty elite. And 7 times, man. You gotta give credit to the Lions, man. The Lions spy as an issue, and the 7 sacks they got executed very well. You gotta give them credit. The Lions, or the defensive coordinator though for the Ravens, Zach Orr. I don't know about Zach Orr, dude. Like, I don't know if he's a defensive coordinator, a good defensive coordinator for this team. I really don't. John Harbaugh. I don't know, it seemed they never made any adjustments to stop the Lions' offense, which I know it's hard, because they have a bunch of offensive weapons, you know, Montgomery, Gibbs, Amon-Ra, Jameson Williams, Laporta, Tesla, but you gotta be able to wait to make some adjustments, and they just never did. But 38-30, Lions win, that's all to say. Leave a like, comment, subscribe for more, until next time, Alkalite. Peace, and the next NFL game, I'll be here. I mean, I'm here for every primetime game, no matter how even if they're probably the worst games of the season, I'll be here for them. Which I'm covering every primetime game this season. I'll be here Thursday, Seahawks, Cardinals. Thursday, a battle of, I believe, 2-1 teams here. Cardinals coming off a heartbreaking loss against San Francisco, and Seahawks coming off a blowout win. So yeah, I'll see you guys Thursday, NFL fans, for Seahawks Cardinals. Peace.